What's happening, man? Hey, Congressman, how you doing?
Tell him to record
We
it.
gotta talk about these protests.
It's up all the way, that's weird.
Tore up our downtown, man, and we need to do a forum. But I want you to meet Nabil. He used to be on Wall Street. You know, he's one of those brilliant fintech guys, startup guys, brilliant, good friend of mine. His wife,
It's up all the way.
he a Fifth Third Bank. Bill's a VP at a company, but he also has a startup that's doing pretty well. You want to tell them about your startup because Dame is in the fintech space, dealing with OneDrop, and you want to tell them about your app?
And I'm diabetic too, type 1.
Oh, pleasure to meet you.
Diabetic.
Were you diabetic? Oh, interesting. Okay.
Since I was 15.
First of all, pleasure to meet you, obviously. I'm sorry?
No, since I was 15, I've been type 1.
Oh, since you were 15. Got it. Okay, so then I think you'll appreciate the challenges and problems that we're trying to solve fairly well. Quick background, my name is Nabil Khalkaf. I'm the founder of John Health. We are a healthcare technology company that's created an AI-backed care management platform that lets physicians get paid extra money to take care of patients with multiple chronic diseases. So 80% of all Medicare patients have 2 or more chronic illnesses. They represent 86% of all healthcare spend. The issue in healthcare always is to spend all the money on sick patients. And these are patients who typically may see their doctor every 3 to 6 months, depending upon, I assume you probably go in quarterly to get an A1C done to help manage your diabetes. Is that right?
Yep.
Yep. So in between is where the issues pop up, right? The reality is that your diabetes is, let's pretend I'm your doctor for a second. If I was treating you...
So it's an app that you could talk to the doctor in between all that time?
Yeah, so we actually take the app part out of it. We are an applied technology. There's an app on the physician's end and their staff end that lets them reach out to you. The AI kind of asks the right questions, lets them follow up.
I get it.
How to help you manage your diet.
It's like having like a little robot on you, talking to you all the time. Like, yo, you good? You having these signs? Blah, blah, blah. Like reminding you to take care of the things in between that. Like, yo, is your A1 good? What's your average this week? Now you like that kind of thing?
Exactly. We use text messages. Our goal is that you shouldn't have to install anything as a patient, right? And especially, let's not think of folks like yourselves who are technology savvy, but think about someone, in a senior citizen in their 60s, 70s, and 80s.
No, I get
Who
it.
can't install something. Doesn't remember.
So it'll send you a text and be reminding you through text.
Exactly.
Right.
It's a mix of a text reminder, 2-way communication. We're following up. We're even pulling data out of the text. So if you reply to me with a text saying, hey, my last blood sugar was, 180, what should I do? We can record that data point out of the conversation, store it into your chart, store it into your file. If you tell us...
So wait. So you have a question. If you have a question in the moment, like I wonder if I eat this spaghetti, how long it's going to take for the carb to react, and how much insulin I should take. You ask the question, it'll go to the data, and it'll eventually answer it.
Over time, that's what we're building towards. Right now, what we do is there are live, in order for the doctor to qualify, they have to have a nurse or a junior medical assistant on the other end responding to your questions or your comments. And what we're doing is we're building an AI behind the scenes that's learning from what all these care managers do. This eventually it becomes fully automated. But right now, for the doctor,
So what, you're taking all the questions and putting it into the data? So it's taking all the questions you're asking, and then it's going into like a pool of data, and then you'll have the. So it'll be like Google for like diabetics or medicine.
In a sense, yeah.
After you get all the data, it'll be like based on this question and all these people, this is what it does. Interesting. How much does it cost?
Exactly right. This is what people typically say. So for our customers, right, we charge the physician $8 per patient per month on the platform. The patients don't pay anything.
Can insurance pay for it?
The government, yes. So Medicare pays the doctors anywhere from $40 to $140 per patient per month. We facilitate it. They can't do this effort without us because they have to use the telephone. The telephone is incredibly labor intensive and it's inefficient. We're able to increase productivity gains of 8 to 10x using our platform versus traditional means.
Does it communicate with your traditional doctor that you go to every 3 months?
That's the whole thing. It's meant for your traditional doctor. But we're not the doctor.
Right.
We're a software company. Your doctor buys our
I get
software.
it. So it's like the doctor's little robot that checks up on the patient all day.
And the whole goal is trust. How do you make the trust relationship work? If you know your doctor, you don't know me or anybody on my team. You should never talk to me, right? But talk to your doctor, talk to his nurse and medical assistant. Let that care team manage your care, and that's what we facilitate. The doctor doesn't do the work; they're able to insource it to their junior staff. Staff gets paid, a modest wage.
Neglect.
But the doctors get
It went
reimbursed
off.
if they were doing the work. Our AI helps sort of split the difference.
It went on. Got it. That's dope. When is this app available?
It's already been out. We've been working on this for a few years.
How's it going?
Good. We're about to cross. We're early. We focused on research early on. We're about to cross the $1 million threshold for ARR. We expect to hit about $3 million by year end, and we think that with this current capital raise we're doing right now, we'll get to about $15 million by next year. We'll be profitable next year. Things are going very well. We are taking market share from much bigger companies who take kind of a more traditional approach to care management. But we think we have the best product on the market.
Why don't you sell it to the government?
We will. In order to sell the CMS, you need to have lots and lots of data, right? And so I can raise a ton of money today as investor risk and that heavy dilution to me to prove an uncertain concept, or I can just let the government pay for it slowly. And so we're taking that approach.
They probably throw some money down to do the research.
Yeah, so that's one area that we're going to continue. We've done some modest stuff on that end, but I think that's going to be the next area to continue to evolve the AI. And we spend a lot of time thinking about how do older people react to technology, and that's one of the things that we really focus on, making it simple, making it easy for them.
Who's your AI man, Elon Musk?
I'm sorry?
Who's your AI man, Elon?
No, we built it all ourselves. My co-founder is arguably the best engineer I've ever worked with in my life. He was running search and data over at AT&T. He went to Penn with me in engineering. I'm a software developer. Before I was a Wall Street banker, I was a software developer as well. So we've developed everything in-house.
Dope. That's fine. Interesting. So how can we use this to help what's going on now, Congressman?
This is a different. We were just talking. Nabil, he's back in Cincinnati, so they had riots. They just imposed a curfew on Indy. We had thousands of people downtown. I live downtown right now, in the process of moving in the next few weeks into a home. So they torn up downtown, man. They spray painted the monuments, and so what we're finding is that you have Amish, Mennonites who are part of that, but also you have some anarchists who are part of it too, and some suspected white supremacists. But we want them helping the effort, but we don't want them to take away from black pain and suffering. So I think to the point that we can have what your OG Daniel was talking about, people on the ground. We've seen what happens, but what we don't want to do is to solidify the argument that, see, they're savages. Look at what they're doing to the city.
Well, it seems like it's fairly strategic. The way things are being approached, it seems like triggers are being pulled.
Absolutely.
Like if you look at if you talk to a therapist, they would say everything that's going on, we all know what the reaction is going to be, and we all know how to diffuse it. To diffuse it would be just to charge those dudes real quick, all of them. And why wouldn't they charge them initially? How come they don't? I just think the problem is there isn't any accountability right now, and it's causing people to react in emotion in a time where not only will it hurt the whole cause, it'll get them sick. People are forgetting that you're going to get sick outside.
Right.
So, and then in the same day, everybody's going to space. It's really weird, all the things that are going on at one time. But I do know this. If Obama was here, it wouldn't be like this.
It wouldn't be like this at all. So let me ask you this. A poll came out yesterday, we were just talking about this, where Biden is like 11 points ahead. We don't know how sustainable that is. Do you still think Trump has opportunity in the midst of all this madness to still win and get reelected?
If he turns into Obama. I mean, like, the only way he could win right now is if he changes his ways completely. And he will win.
I think that even matter at this point.
Yo, he really f***ed it up.
Yeah.
Yo, the world is in chaos just like we said it was gonna be. Like, before he got elected, if we could imagine what it would look like 4 years after he got elected, it would be this. This is what we said was gonna happen. We say, yo, if this man runs the strongest country in the planet, this is what's gonna happen. And look what happened. You know, the problem is other countries are beating COVID, and we not.
Smaller countries are staving off their numbers, that's true, but I think Italy is taking extreme measures. I mean, given their resources and given the size of Italy. We were just talking about Sweden, and they're practicing herd immunity. But Sweden is a country that
No, what about the other one with the woman that's running it that said it should? I just forgot the country. It's been 0.
Is it New Zealand?
Yeah, New Zealand.
New Zealand, yeah.
Yeah. But you know, there's so many different variables. I'd like to see the numbers from Atlanta, from LA, from all these other cities.
Well, Congressman, the result of today isn't because of anything that happened like today. It's because of how this was handled a while ago.
Precisely. That's true. No doubt.
Like, it's not, you know, right now we're suffering from what the mismanagement of 3 months ago.
Right.
You know, and as a result, people are frustrated, scared, off balance, and triggered very easily. And now look what we got.
So with some of this outrage, how we don't know, but if you could say, what percentage of those folks are people who were quarantined, now unemployed, and who are just angry, and this happens to be a vehicle for them to express their frustration?
About 90.
Wow. How sensitive do you think they are to the plight of black folks in the country? And how much of that is just frustration? This is the vehicle, let me get it out, let me tear shit up.
Therapeutically, it's from internalizing. The reason why, and this is what I saw with my dogs, right? I was walking my dogs the other day. I got 4. They saw another dog, and they wanted to fight the dog. They all tried to jump the dog. Because they couldn't get at the dog, Astro and Governor started fighting each other.
Sure.
So if you're internalizing, you're pent up, and there's nothing you can do to the police. Really, there's really nothing you can do. And you're already triggered or bothered by so many other things, and everyone's gonna release, you're gonna jump in there just for the therapy of it all. Like people breaking up stores, that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. And people are going into other people's states and breaking up other people's towns.
Indianapolis, Cincinnati.
And that's wrong. It's disrespectful.
It is disrespectful.
Like if I had a store out there, I'd be out there with my gun like, yo, don't touch my store.
Yeah, and I feel sorry for those store owners who didn't have enough time or resources to call somebody to go to Menards or Lowe's to get some boards to put up. It's a wrap.
That's everybody. Yo, they was bugging in Melrose.
Is that right?
Yeah. They knocking down weeds. They messed up Burner's spot. They messed up like Ray-Bans. Nothing that has anything to do with this.
Exactly.
They tearing down black people's stuff. They just tearing down. So also what happens in the midst of this, people, it's like human nature. If 100 people feel a way, there's going to be 100 that are going to take advantage of it, pretend they feel a way to rob. So this is a good time for a criminal to pretend to be a with masks on. I mean, this is too easy. But also, it's disturbing to see the little Instagram clips of cops breaking up stuff to start the riots. Like, what type of shit is that?
Absolutely. And see, I don't think it's one coordinated effort. I think to your point, you have the element, the criminal element, you have maybe a couple of white supremacists, but you have opportunists, you mostly have people who are frustrated, and it's really the perfect storm, man. It's really the perfect storm.
It's a good time to stay in the house.
Good shit.
So let me ask you this. I've been trying to think, like, for a while, what would be logical that could be passed as a law? How come there's no police to police the police?
In terms of
A police for the police. Because listen, the bottom line is this: no matter what, the police is a brotherhood.
right,
It's a brotherhood. And that's any brotherhood. You do not tell on your family. You don't violate your family. Even if you're not a bad cop, you're not telling on a bad cop. It's a brotherhood. And they take that brotherhood very serious.
and there's no incentive to tell on a bad cop, because in the event you seek a promotion or you want a reassignment, you want to get off third shift and be able to see your family on first shift, they're going to remember that you effectively snitched on officer so-and-so.
Or you're done.
It's a wrap.
So why can't there be a separate entity that's not looked at as part of them that they're scared of?
So the idea is, in different cities, municipalities, they do it differently. Some people have police review boards where you have a lot of citizens on there.
Now you need them riding around. The police patrol.
That's right. We have a police review board, but there are like 7 cops on the review board.
No, that's not the one I'm talking about. I'm talking about a completely separate entity that rides around solely to watch the police.
Well, you know, in internal affairs is supposed to be that, and oftentimes if you're a cop and you're assigned to internal affairs, traditionally it's a lonely existence.
No, what I'm saying is a uniformed cop for cops, so that it's almost like in business, right? Having one accountant makes no sense. It has too much, you're giving them too much control. You have to have an accountant and a separate accountant check your accountant quarterly to make sure he's honest.
Like do an audit.
You have to. You can't give somebody that much control. Every time I've given one accountant control of my money, and I have a lot, they fucked it up. If they don't know anyone's looking, they're going to do it as human nature. They do what they want to do. But if they know that someone's going to be checking their books every 3 months, they know they got to stay honest. Or also, why not have a therapist that every week has to talk to them, because there are flags for a racist. There are flags for someone imbalanced. These cops obviously have psychological problems when they do things like this. This is not normal human behavior.
Now, a challenge with that is you have more and more agencies who have therapists on site. The problem is, like in the military, there's a stigma attached, even to police
It should be, they gotta do it. Why don't they have, like a piss test? You gotta do a brain test, a stress test. Why?
So healing is gangster. If you could normalize therapy in police departments, which is so built on machismo and I'm a man and I'm hard, I think you go a long way, but you have to disrupt the culture. The military is having, so I introduced a bill 10 years ago that got signed into law. If you committed suicide in the military, your family would not get a letter from the president. It goes back to Abraham Lincoln's time. Now, because of that bill, even if you commit suicide, you don't die honorably, or you don't die because of old age or natural causes, you should only get a letter for that. Now, even if you commit suicide, you get a letter from the president.
Yeah, that's all wrong. Why can't we change it? Is there a bill, a law that can be passed to start the conversation? I'll lobby for it. Like, just to change something, because that's the problem is, again, 30 years ago there was Rodney King.
Right.
Same set of, even crazier. And the same, nothing's changed. It's not going to change. It's used as a tool to separate us. Racism will always be there to control us. You understand what I mean? So with knowing that, knowing that that circumstance will never change. There will always be racism because there will always be people that want to use it to control. People that are scared use racism to protect themselves. People use racism as an excuse. But what can we do to protect, implement something new so people can see that at least there is a little change? So 30 years from now, it could be like, yo, at least something different. We've made some, there's been no change of accountability. The cops still can do whatever they want to do, and cops are still the ones that are supposed to arrest cops, and it will never happen. I will never, no matter what, unless my brother like raped a little girl or something crazy, I would never arrest my own brother. I don't care what he did.
So we're myself, Ilhan, and a few others, some of the members of the squad are on a bill that creates a national police oversight committee. So what we would have to do is get congressional approval to give it some teeth and federal authority, because right now, there's no, you have town police, you have city marshals, you have city police, you have sheriff's department, you have state police, you have county sheriffs. So there's so many police agencies, but only 1 million police officers in the country compared to 100 million citizens. So there's a discrepancy there, but I think if we could have more review boards that have teeth in them, not just to make recommendations, but to really punish police agencies, I think we could result.
What do you think right now, what law you think could be passed that would make the average person feel a little better? In layman's terms, though. Like, what simply would just be like, yo, we're trying to do something.
I think having a committee, a congressional committee that could provide some oversight where when you have these police action shootings, we could have these people go before the United States Congress and really cross-examine them with a bunch of members of Congress who don't mind being on television, who don't mind lighting you up because their election is coming up in a few months.
Oh, you mean like you?
Without question, because you know I gets busy on the mic.
You get busy. You be getting that Trump direct.
Absolutely.
That's why I messaged you a hitter. Pause.
I appreciate that. So I think if we could do that, it'll be dope. But Nabil?
So
Can I get two quick thoughts? Steven, you wanted two concrete ideas in particular on how to change this without having, if you want to do something without having to even change the laws. If I can make two quick ideas. One, I'd argue the single biggest reason why the folks who can actually police the policemen exist. District attorneys, they are the problem. More even than cops, no one's going to rat their brother out. You can't change that culture, I get it. But the people who are in charge are district attorneys. They're supposed to be prosecuting crooked cops, but they don't. And the reason they don't do it is that they need police officers to testify on their behalf for other cases. And nobody holds the district attorney accountable. DAs go on to become mayors, governors, the most important people in politics. Those are the folks that, as either as lobbyists or as citizens, that we can squeeze to do the right thing, number one. Number two, the reason we can't squeeze them is that there's no data shared about how many citizens are shot by police officers. There's no national database for this stuff. So I can't tell the district attorney in Los Angeles or in Cincinnati, Chicago, Indianapolis, hey, 37 citizens were shot by cops last year on your watch. How many officers were actually arrested? We have none of that data. And the reason why is that police forces locally say we will not share information on what police officers are doing. If you have that information, you can get public pressure or even legal pressure on district attorneys in a way that would be much more, I would argue, more effective than what a national congressional panel could do. And you wouldn't have to go through the fight in Congress about protecting cops versus putting them on display. But I'll be quiet here for a second, if that makes sense.
No, I think we lost the congressman.
No,
I
think he's on audio.
So what you said just now, how do you implement that? Again, it's always about layman terms and making that a reality. Things sound good, but I want to know how to make it really happen. Like, how do we do that?
If I can be a little bit crass, if you don't mind, given what your background is in particular, you're obviously a man of means, you know lots of wealthy people. I would argue if you create a lobbying group that puts pressure on DAs who, again, they're in their role because they want to become the mayor or governor or eventually president. they need funding, and funding is what drives all. If enough citizens are pressuring DAs, you're not going to take that next step in your career because you're going to need that check from Damon Dash. You're going to need the check from Mark Cuban, from any other kind of big ticket benefactor. We're not tolerating this anymore. I need to know what's happening. Don't say prosecute the police, because that's a tough ask today. But if you say I need the data, I need police forces to be transparent about their use of force on unarmed civilians and citizens. You can utilize that data to then put public pressure and public shame, because these people can't run for office if they know that 50 citizens were shot under their watch and no cops to prosecute.
Why don't you set up one of those kind of programs like yours for the medical, for people that are being abused by cops? And you can say, I'm right here with such and such, and he's doing such and such. And they can ask you, and that kind of thing. Some kind of a monitoring like that.
I mean, those things we could do it. We could set it up. It's a great idea. I think it's not a business, but I think it's a public service. I totally get it.
Hey, it's another business too. It's another business. I would do that.
I hear you. Love the thought.
Like if you can talk to your local district attorney or someone like that, or a way to talk to your Congress, that would be a great way to talk to you, Congressman.
I love it. Speaking of district attorney, our local prosecutor, he was going to get on your show about dismissing marijuana charges, but I don't know what happened.
I don't know what was up. What happened with that when we were talking to him? It was a while ago. It was two people. It was the woman that was the reporter. We got to get back on there because I definitely want to talk to him. Call him and tell him, because I don't know what happened with that, because we were ready. Okay. I felt like he canceled once or twice, right? It was the congressman. It was about 4 months ago.
I remember.
You remember that? Yeah, it was like 4 months ago. Copeland, right?
Yeah, Copeland. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What happened with that?
He just disappeared.
He just disappeared on us.
Okay, I gotta get on this case. It scatters.
It's all good, but we ready for him whenever he's ready. But I do think your idea of us getting a certain amount of people to really talk about the way we should be carrying the now. Like right now, we have to play checkers because we have a situation immediately, but it has to come with chess, But like chess with checkers, like a little action with the chess. People got to see action. They got to see something done. Like, I don't understand why they're not arresting the rest of those cops.
It's terrible. They've definitely lawyered up, and to what degree they're being protected by the police department.
They were right there.
Yeah, but I think the one guy was low-hanging fruit for him.
The dude that did it still hasn't said why he did it. No statement from him. No sorry, no nothing. Don't you think that might calm some people down, some accountability?
I think he's a race soldier, man.
But the thing is, even on a strategic level, a lawyer or a publicist would say, listen, I think it's strategic that he's not saying something is what I'm saying.
Oh, sure.
He's going to argue that he didn't murder him. I mean, with all due respect, the argument is his lawyer's telling him, don't say a word. You're actually not guilty. You did something that was in the line of duty. You made a judgment call, and find a jury that says that he was innocent. I'm not saying this as any.
I know what you're saying. Even down to the person that called saying it was a bad check. How come nobody's grilling that person?
That's a whole.
Yeah.
And did you also hear that they also worked together? Like he was a security with him at a club?
Yeah.
It sounds like he was messing with his broad. That's what it sounds like.
Mm-hmm.
The girl got divorced the day after. She got knocked for the same fraudulent check. Same set of circumstance, and went through the same place he went through.
That's good game right there.
I mean, it's just a lot of little things in the recipe. I don't know what the meal is, but little ingredients. I'm like, something is going to connect. I just don't know why all these people aren't being. Why you call and say it was a bad check? Why you get divorced right after the day after, and you got bumped, you just got knocked for doing a bad check, and these two used to work together. I need to interview the people around the club to see what the dynamic was. Was they hustling? Did he run off with a pack? Did he mess with your girl? Huh?
The lady who ran the company said that they weren't like close like that, but I think there's always tension, and you go in clubs with the police officers who work part-time and the security guys. The cops already think that they're better than the security guys.
Yo, if you worked in a club with somebody, you know them. It's nothing but a house that you in every day with them. They know each other. If they work together, they knew each other. They didn't have to work closely. It's a club.
Yeah.
How close? It was on the other end of the club. It was a club. It's just, yo, his girl got divorced the day after.
The argument there is it's just protecting it. I mean, I don't know why.
Like, why would he kill somebody that he knows? He supposed to be like, oh, I know you. I ain't gonna do that. It was like, I know you. Now what?
Yeah. I know what's up.
Now what, nigga? You know what I mean? Like, you ran off with a pack, you wanna fuck my girl. It was one of those kind of things. That's what it looked like to me. But I'm just a thinking man. I don't know. But I just feel like there's some ways that we could get some answers. I'd be leaning on some people. I can tell you that. But if we could get a forum to talk, if you want, I could put one together and we could talk whenever you want.
I'd like to kind of add a couple of local people just for that.
Please.
Yeah. Okay.
So you tell me the time and I'll put it together.
Okay, I'll talk to Copeland and the scheduler, and we could just block off some time and make it happen. But I want to get some. It'd be great to have. I'll see if Ryan, our prosecutor, can get on that, because I think it'd be good to have some either judges, current or former justice space who could speak to it.
I'll get some principals.
Right now.
I'll get some principals, the bishop, and you want me to get some people? I'll get OG if you want. I'll get a therapist. I think there should be a therapist.
Okay.
And if you want, and I'll get the senator. Or you could get, we get the senator if you want.
Okay, and I can get some local activists and people.
Please.
Yeah.
Let's get it, and then we all need to play it on our platforms. We got to show some unity. We got muscle. We got to flex it the right way.
I still need you for the Black Caucus, but it's going to be virtual this year.
Yeah, anytime. You already know that. You already know.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Yeah, let me know who you want me to bring.
I saw your man's Jay Electronica. He's trying to repost, during these riots, but I think it's probably too late. His album came out at a bad time.
Well, my thing is, and again, I love Jay Electronica, but if you haven't been fighting every day, don't make these kind of things Christmas for you. Like, if you're not, like, I go through it, I fight for my culture every single day, not when it's popular, and I don't wait for somebody else to get hurt to trigger me. I'm already thinking about it beforehand, which is why having a platform and being independent and having, your economics right and your health right, that's the way to fight every day and to stand every day. It has to be an everyday thing. The bottom line is, if everybody's saying the same thing, no one's listening.
Is he just one of those artists you got to drag him to the studio?
No, he's lightning in the bottle. He's different. Jay Electronica, I got mad albums. I have an album with Jay Electronica already. A bunch of stuff. He used to be, but he's brilliant. He's brilliant. He's militant, but he's a true artist. He doesn't move. He's lightning in the bottle, bro. He could like he'll walk out the door, say he's getting a cigarette. You won't see him for 3 years. You know what I mean? And he'll be in. He just run. He's a real artist. He's a real artist. Straight artist.
Okay.
Straight.
I like him sonically. I like his music. I like the content, but.
Like I said, sometimes, it's better when you do it when no one's saying it, then you stand out. But right now, when everyone's saying it, it doesn't stand out. So like right now, me being militant and talking, it doesn't stand out. You know what would stand out? Having an answer with some kind of a peaceful resolution. that would stand out. But, you know, it doesn't happen. Everybody wants to fight right now, and I really don't think that's the way. I think the way is to be strategic and come with a plan to execute.
Right.
You know, if we could just come together and have an intellectual riot, you know, an idea riot, you know, a solution riot. You know what I mean? And the thing that's so great about it is you could shut down an economy from in the house. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of what we're doing, we in different places right now talking. We can figure out how to do it. If we figure out how to do it virally, then everybody stays safe and nothing has to burn down and no one has to get hit with a rubber bullet. So I'm going to fight, but not the way they want me to. The way they want me to fight, I'm going to get hit. It doesn't yield. That's not a fight. That's just an emotional, therapeutic thing. This is all therapy right now, but it's not business.
Has there been some good, or might there be some good that comes out of even the lootings and the rioting, or no?
If we come with a solution behind it, I think, to me, the most powerful weapon is putting awareness. So if we don't give them something to beef about and just take pictures of them f***ing up, then we gonna win. But if we give them something to take and distract, we gonna lose. You know what I mean? Like if 10 black people died protesting because one black person died, that doesn't make any sense. You know, that's just me. I just feel like we have to approach it different. It's a different day. You know, it just has to be a more evolved approach.
Platforms. Are you allowed to multicast from like the YouTube platform?
Yeah.
YouTube? Okay.
All platforms. I can go live too off my platform now. I just got to learn the technology. We're gonna learn it this week. But it's a full running television network from the streaming service as well. So I can go live plus the on demand. I can do it. I'm independent. I can do whatever I want to do. You know. But look, give me the time, and I'll get everybody together, and we'll put it together. Tell me what time. You want to do it tonight?
No, man. I need a little more time because the people I need are downtown right now.
All right, now just let me know. But I might put one together and call you for it.
Okay, just let me know. But yeah, everyone's trying to figure out this piece. I have a few hearings this week. I have one tomorrow with the Intel committee and a few other ones. So we just have to get the time right because Pelosi has us on standby because McConnell's saying he doesn't want to do another. He wants to do one final stimulus plan and that's it. So.
Well, I know I got denied.
Is that right?
Yep.
You're big?
Yeah, probably. Sounds like it.
Huh?
Sounds like it.
Your company's too big, right? That's why they denied you.
One more time?
I think your company is too big.
If you want another amazing video with the one and only Dame Dash, check it out right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.